Well, if I look on the, looking at the
I have
revenue,
sheet 29. It says for the general appropriations, so that would be 1,363,281.53. That would be the last line item.
if you look at sheet 30, 1,280,929.14.
Okay. Okay, so that's the number that we're going to be adopting tonight is 1280,929.14.
That is correct.
Does anybody have any questions on the budget? Hearing none, I will make a motion to introduce the budget 36, resolution 36, 2018, to the amount of $1,280,929.14.
I'll second.
Any discussions? Judd, according to what I'm looking at here, in 2017, we had $1,363,281, and now we have $1,280,000, which is a difference of less than, in round numbers, $80,000.
Yes, but that includes, you have grants in there.
$80,000 less than the previous year's budget.
Yeah.
And that includes all of our grant monies that we have to have placed into our budget so that we can pay the expenditure once we receive.
Not yet.
Well,
Not all our grants, but we were able to put the new 2018 DOT grant in there.
so we have the $156,000 in there.
Yes,
55,900.
155, I believe it is.
155,900.
So we have clean communities, we may have some municipal lines, maybe some others, not anything significant.
Okay. Municipal line items. Oh,
And I will give you these sheets because the subtotals changed on sheet 17A, but that's just because salaries and wages changed. So what I will do is get you copies of these and give it to you.
there is a motion by myself, a second by Council President Hughes. If there's no further discussion, can we have a roll call?
Barbetta,
Yes.
Buchanan,
Yes.
Givens,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mayor Venezia.
Yes. Moving on down the line here, we have,
Mayor?
We just have two quick resolutions.
get a moment? Get a moment? Hold on, this is gonna be painless. We have, Resolution 37, 2018, a resolution of the City of Estell Manor governing body approving participation in Landon County Community Block Grant Program. I think that's a no-brainer. I make the necessary motion.
Yes, second.
I believe roll call for this.
Coming.
Okay. Any discussion? Is there a discussion?
Any questions?
Aaron, now's the time to start firing away. You look,
The community
Hello,
block grant,
Chris.
what's the community block grant?
we receive $15,000 a year annually.
Uh-huh.
And we don't necessarily have to spend it this year, but we have to spend it within a certain prescribed period. I think it's 2 or 3 years, that we can bank it up before we have to start spending it down.
For
So-
anything?
No, it's ADA. It's
ADA for Americans
What
with
Mike was talking
Disabilities
about.
Act.
Okay.
Any type of an improvement that we would make to this building
Okay.
has to be for the purposes of ADA compliance.
Okay.
Parking lot as an example, we put ramps out here and so
Right.
on and so on. We
Gotcha.
have an elevator right there.
Oh, yes, we do.
To the second floor, we need to get out of here quickly, you know. But, at any rate, that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. There's a motion and a second to roll call.
Barbetta,
Yes.
Buchanan,
Yes.
Givens,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mayor Venezia.
Yes. And then we have 39, 2018, and that is a resolution to support the, opposing the proposed beekeeping regulations in the New Jersey Registrar. And just one quick item that I would like to say, so we don't get into a heated contest with Buena Vista Township, but if you take a look at the sample resolution, it says that Buena Vista Township is the second largest in the state for beehives. And if we're saying that we're the second largest, which we're not, unless Jim Owen's got one big massive bee farm going on out there on Route 50 that I'm not aware of. But, I would just like to change the verbiage to that resolution to eliminate that Estell Manor is the second largest.
I'll second
Okay. And we had two different resolutions. One was from EHT, the other one was from Buena Vista Township. There's different verbiage to it, but the end result is it takes you to the same point of origin, which is opposing the regulations of the state. It's trying to impose upon the small little hobbyist riparian guy that wants to just have a couple beehives out there, and the state shouldn't tell us no. And whether you guys are aware or not, but the honeybee is on the decline, and now is not the time to be trying to pull the reins on people who want to do it as a hobby to help the hive thrive.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, I would like to make the necessary motion to support Resolution 39, 2018, the change of removing the second largest in the state of New Jersey.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I think it's talking to Mr. Owen. It seems to be possibly a moot point now, because I think the state is pulling the restrictions from the small little riparian hobbyists. But nonetheless, we did take a stand on this here in case it resurfaces. We've already sent it to our folks. Moving along here, we have the bill list. And are there any, I have one issue that I did want to ask Larry, not now of course, but when you have a moment, I really would like to know how much money that we have put into this military truck. It's on the bill list here, we have $787 to do a repair.
That was for repair of all that went on that truck.
You had said that you kept in your computer, there's a file of all the time we spent
I
and
do
all
not
the,
have a file on my computer of all the time we spent in the truck.
do we have the
We do
file of
have-
all the repairs that we've made into it?
Yeah.
Expenses,
We
whether it's
do.
oil changes, whatever.
Well, I don't know about oil changes, but we have a file that indicates all the receipts for any repairs that were done to any vehicle that we have in the public works fleet. That one's included.
I kind of really would like to get a copy of what we have invested into that truck so far.
It's available, the city clerk does have that information.
Sunday, can I get that once you
I don't have an individual file of truck maintenance. I mean, there are purchase orders that can be pulled, but it's not an individual file, not here. I don't know if Public Works keeps one, but I do not have one.
I thought
Of
that there
truck
was one, but
maintenance.
maybe I'm mistaken. I would like to see how much we have invested in that vehicle as of right now.
It might take me a day or two to pull the purchase order.
Don't need it right away, then.
Okay.
Honestly, give
Okay.
it to me a week, maybe by the next meeting.
Very good,
And
we can do
then
that.
we may be in a position to make a decision to do something. We have the bill list in front of us. Aaron,
Yeah.
you shouldn't get scared, but we have a total amount here of $290,000 that we gotta cough up tonight, otherwise we gotta go out there and pass the cup around on the intersection there. I don't think we're gonna get too far past the cup. The school bill monthly is a big nut to crack. That's, $196,000 this month for the Board of Ed, $196,246. That's pretty much consistent month after month for what it costs for our monthly allotment that we have to give to the schools out. Other than that, we have the mundane things. We have an audit that's required by law from the Department of Community Affairs. Each municipality has to conduct an audit, so we do have a big expenditure. It may seem high, but that's probably half of what their figure is. And then we have the ACUA, Aaron.
Right.
And one is for 12,302, and the other one below is for February, which is 11,691. That is for our tipping fee and contract that we have with the ACUA to pick up our trash and all these other, right? And if there's anything large on here that you may not be, also, the LoSAP is Language Service Award Program,
Okay.
line item 0112, and the fire company members are awarded LoSAP based upon a point scoring system, and that's an annual payment. This isn't going to appear every month, this is just once this year, yeah.
Okay.
So that, we set aside some money, and that was done by ordinance
Okay.
in '99, if I recall. Set up a fund for the volunteers.
Okay.
We have a monthly fee from the attorneys. You'll see from time to time propane that we gotta buy,
Yeah.
things like that, but other than that, if you have any questions, though, please ask.
Any other questions?
If there are no questions, I'll make a motion to approve the bill list for the total amount of $290,898.18.
I'll second that.
If there is no discussions, can we have roll call?
Barbato,
Yes.
Buchanan,
Yes.
Givens,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mayor Venezia.
Yes, with the exception of line item 0119, I'm going to abstain on that. 17,754 settlement.
Okay. Before we get any further, we just want to refresh my memory. This resolution here.
I'm gonna talk to you about that too.
No, no, we want to do it tonight.
I'm gonna go with Hardenberg.
Okay. I mean,
I'm not gonna change my mind on that. I mean,
well,
I've heard nothing but good stories about them. I've talked to a number of municipalities that have them. It's never, ever been an issue in the past. There's a problem with them.
I want to address the resolution regarding, resolution 35-2018, authorizing the award contract for risk management consultants. We had two RFPs that were received by the city, one for Hardenberg Insurance and one for the McMahon Agency. At our last meeting in January, in February, the Hardenberg Insurance was nominated for that position, and they failed in the vote. So at this point, I am going to we have one remaining viable candidate. He met all the requirements for that position. This is McMahon Agency.
So it's not your nomination? It's the mayor's nomination subject to the council consent.
So does it stay open?
I actually think that there's a conflict somewhere along the line.
Here's our problem. We've received a letter from the JIF indicating that we're in violation that if you don't fill that position.
So let's put Hardenberg in. Means that we're in violation. No, we've had them since 2011. There's never been an issue.
Down.
For $144.
They've already been voted down.
For $144.
No, the JIF commissioner saying they are not doing as much as they could possibly do for the city.
And it was mentioned that they have picked up 3 additional towns in this area, and they are going to be at all of the meetings.
So before when it was only us, they didn't want to deal with it. Now that they have 3 additional towns, then now they're gonna do it. So it means that's
Al,
what
why
they
did you-
think, that's what they think of us.
Now, why didn't you bring this up last year and the year before and the year before and the year before? This isn't something where they have a perfect attendance record. It's never been an issue.
All right, let me bring up something that may make some clarification in the issue. The sample contract that was supplied to us by the JIP contains a total of, I believe, 26 different points that they recommend that the contract of the person who is applying for that position cover. Hardenberg Insurance in their submission, addressed 13 out of the 26. The one issue that we were talking about as far as the attendance of meetings, they deleted from their proposal altogether. Hardenberg Insurance indicated they would charge a 6%. In the McMahon Agency's proposal, their agreement was identical to the sample supplied by the JIF, covered all 26 points, and came in at 5.6%.
If in fact, nobody sitting here at this table
I'm not finished.
wasn't related to
I'm
someone.
not finished, Mr. Mayor. I also made contact because I want to make sure, talking to people that have used these agencies in the past, I did contact 2 different cities that also use McMahon Agency, and they highly recommend them. As a matter of fact, that some of their people have actually adopted and used them for their own personal business. So based on that is why I would indicate that since we've already voted down Hardenberg Insurance, and we've already received a letter from the JIF stating we're in violation if we don't fill that position, and we have one viable candidate left, why I believe we should put McMahon's agency in that position.
You can debate me all you want. There's someone sitting at the table that I understand has an immediate family member that works for McMahon Agency, and I think it's actually a conflict of interest.
Who is it, Joe? Who is it?
Not say it out.
Someone sitting here, someone identified.
If you tell somebody that they could recuse themselves, sit down in the audience and not take part of the vote.
Have a conversation.
Linda, do you have anybody that's related that works there?
Yes, my sister does work at McMahon Agency.
And I kind of got broadsided when we had our organization, all of a sudden, it wasn't Hardenberg, it's McMahon. It's like, well, why? And I come to find out, I received an anonymous call that someone said, you're related, there's a relation from this governing body's table here. It's a
Well, I'm not
conflict.
part of the governing
Not
body,
part of the governing
correct you
body.
that. Can I speak to the fact that my sister works there? That has nothing to do with receiving RFPs at all. I did not go out and solicit McMahon Agency, Hardenberg Insurance, or anybody. Those are simply the RFPs you received. There's nothing to do with my sister working there.
I'm just very uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not gonna discuss your job performance without a rice course, if that's where this is leading, but I'm just very uncomfortable realizing that an 11th hour decision was made and it wasn't even discussed with me. It was just simply on a resolution to put McMahon on there. It's like, well, that should have been discussed. It wasn't. And if I wouldn't have caught it, it would have went out and they would have been hired.
Wait a minute.
And that's,
We tried to do this at the last meeting.
Right.
We tried to bring it up, and you would not listen. You held it over.
something was telling me
So
that
we did not have the
felt-
opportunity to give you that information.
I felt something in my stomach that felt was wrong with doing this. It seemed like it was odd. Out of nowhere, we have issue after issue with a company that has been good to the municipality over the years.
All I'm saying to you is.
And then it turns out that someone was at the reorganization meeting, and they called me and said, hey,
All I'm saying to you
Somebody's
is
got a
that we
relation.
had 2 RFPs submitted for risk management. 2. And out of those 2, one was voted upon and failed in the vote. We have one viable candidate left. Now, we've received a letter from the JIP indicating we are in violation if we do not fill that position.
then that's
So-
on you.
Here's
I don't
the,
think.
It's
here's the agreement between the two.
Al, I am sure,
The
I am sure
Hardenberg is
someone else knew.
2 pages.
Listen, you guys do what you
No.
want. I've taken my stand on it, and I'm not gonna cave in to pressure.
You don't have to cave in.
Just go with Hardenberg. What is the
No,
big deal?
We're not gonna cave in, because what we see here on paper shows us that McMahon Agency is a better agency than Hardenberg.
Really?
By what they, by what they're covering.
Well, I could also tell you this, I was with the mayor of Down Township today, we were in Trenton, we drove up together, he discussed with me, they have Hardenberg. And a couple years before, they had, as in past tense, Hardenberg. They went with another company, come to find out, they're a world apart from one another, and they brought Hardenberg back. Okay?
Who was the other company?
I don't recall what the name, it was
It wasn't McMahon.
AET, Ada, something like that, Ida, something to that effect. But the reality is, it was an inferior company, they made a lot of promises that they were gonna do this, that, or whatever, and they didn't fulfill them once they got the appointment. So therefore,
That has nothing to do with McMahon.
It's his appointment.
okay, I'm gonna move the meeting forward. Moving the meeting forward. Run for mayor, that's your nomination.
But the thing is, right now, we don't have a risk management
That's your choice, not mine.
professional.
That's your choice. Anyway, moving on down the line,
No,
here in the
that's your
buildings, we're gonna go down to the minutes.
had a conversation.
We have the February 14th meeting. Guys, come on, move on. We have the February 14th reorganization meeting. We're gonna have to do some of these meeting by meeting. Does anybody have any corrections to any of the minutes of the February meeting?
February 14, 2018.
Yes.
I have no corrections.
You have no corrections?
I did my homework and I read it and I didn't see any.
Okay. I did my homework and I read it and I did find the last mayor. Linda, it's very unprofessional, your personal attacks, just not, you're out of order. I did not nominate the forester. I made a motion to have, excuse me, I stated immediately that there was a conflict with myself and CME because of the fact that I in fact do have a property that's under a wood management plan. And Larry, you were the one that made the nomination. I did not.
I believe,
It says here the mayor nominated CME Associates and I did not.
I think you did.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Let me finish. I seconded it. You abstained from the vote because of that.
Did I make the nomination?
I
Larry?
believe you did.
You want to bet? Tell me how much you want to bet. I put the money on the table
I
right
can take the
now.
minute.
Okay,
Now we're gambling.
I will go back and check the recording. My mistake, I will correct it.
I did not make the
Simply
nomination.
just go back and listen to the recording.
Thank you.
I can honestly say I may have made a mistake. It was a long night.
Fred, what do you recall?
I don't, but we're talking February 14th, the reorganization
Correct.
meetings. Why doesn't council hold that so the clerk can go back and check this point, you can revisit it at the next meeting? That leaves you then with February 14 regular and February 14 closed. Council action on those two, if no one has an objection, to the appropriate, man.
Right.
So we have the reorganization meeting of February 14th, closed session. Any corrections? I have another one. On page 5. Mayor Teasovitz did not appoint Helen Garrick.
Oh,
It was myself that did that.
sorry.
Steve is not on council. And immediately right underneath, Mayor Teasovitz did not appoint Bill Donovan. I did. Any corrections? Continuing? So we're holding the reorganization portion of the February 14th meeting. We have the regular council meeting of February 14th. We'll go through that. Any corrections? Yes? No? No? Make a motion to approve the regular city council meeting of 2014 and the closed session. I'll make the motion. All in favor? Aaron, you can't vote because you were not on council at the time.
Very good.
Okay. Moving down to the, now this one here is very, very confusing. Larry, when did you come on city council?
In 2000,
I know the answer.
15.
Moving over here, we have minutes of February 12th, 2014. And it says Councilman Hughes. But John Cunningham was on city council then. Right here. But in looking at 2015, resolution 67, 2015, that would indicate that this was in 2015. So the minutes date is incorrect.
This is the problem of having minutes back from 5 years ago.
Does council agree that the minutes need to be amended of the proper date?
Yes, I agree.
And the Councilman Hughes is correct. So we need to change the minutes of the February 12th to reflect 2015.
That's correct.
Does anybody have any other corrections?
Oh, we're doing February 12th? February 12th of 2014.
Staying in,
Okay,
we're
all right,
gonna
14,
do a
fine,
couple
okay.
more corrections in
2014, I just wanted to make sure I knew what year we were in.
Moving down to April the 9th of 2014, does anybody have any corrections of the closed door session? I make a motion to approve, excuse me, let me rewind it, clock here. We didn't really vote on the amended. The minutes of the 2015 of February 12th, with the amendment to be the proper date. I'll make the necessary motion.
Are we sure it has to be 15?
Well, if you take a look at Resolution 67, 2015, that would indicate that was the year 2015.
Alright,
I think we
don't
should,
have any 2015 minutes. I'm kind of lost on which set you have in front of you.
They were never on and voted on.
She didn't do most of the minutes for 6 years. She didn't do most of the
February
minutes for
12th,
6 years.
2014,
Yeah, I'm
Barbado,
surprised
Givens,
too.
I got a feeling that it's 15.
Harris,
You go on their website.
I wasn't on city council,
Hughes,
but I got
and
a feeling
Cheeseman.
it was 15.
I think this is an old set from the previous meeting because my February 12th, 14 is this one. This date may have been wrong.
Then you have the wrong resolution year as well.
No, because this says Resolution 34, 2014.
It says 15.
I didn't give out any meetings. You had meeting minute packets from prior, from 15.
This is what I picked up on Friday, all these minutes. I wasn't even on city council.
That one shouldn't even been in there because it's the same ones I have copies of. I don't have that one in front of me.
what's the date on yours, Joe?
2014, it's being amended to 2015.
February 12th.
What's the date on that?
February 12th,
February 12th.
2014, I have that in here,
As
on my computer,
Close.
2014.
That's been voted upon?
I don't know whether it's been voted on, all I know is it's Barbado,
that was
Givens,
voted on in
Hughes,
December.
Was that
Hayes,
for
and
resolution
Cheeseman.
67, 2015?
I'm sorry?
Was that for resolution 67, 2015?
Correct.
It says 67, 2015, yes, for
So,
the
this one-
resolution, but everything else is 2014.